Rob. This video, we're going to do a Godzilla 2014 Q&A. Okay guys, welcome back. So this video, I decided to do a Q&A because I got a lot of video requests. Some of the requests are on topics that I've actually already covered, and some of them are requests that really can kind of be answered. The questions can be answered in a short answer. Really wouldn't require a video so much. So what I did was I took all those, put them together, and I made a Q&A list. So some of the videos you guys requested will be covered here. There are some other requests that I do feel garner a full video, but for this I'm just gonna kind of answer some of these questions that I don't really think necessarily need a video to be answered. So here we go. And just so you know, there might be more than one part to this because there are quite a bit of questions and I don't want to do like a 30-minute video, so it might be 2 parts, 3 parts. It all depends how it plays out. So here we go. So Madara Uchiha asked if do I think Godzilla movie will have some type of United States versus Japan since it's a reboot, or would it be an obvious no? Yeah, I think that's an obvious no. I think in this case, since it's going to be modern times, there's really no conflict with Japan and the United States. So I see them more working together to get through this. So yeah, I don't think that's going to be an issue. Okay, so the next one is by, I'm gonna pronounce this the best way I can, Halo Kaiju. Wants me to discuss whether or not the sequel, talking about if you made the Godzilla 2014 sequel, or maybe your thoughts on Godzilla versus Ghidorah 2. In terms of the Godzilla 2014 sequel, I actually made a video best explaining how I would do it without actually seeing the movie. Not a lot of detail in there because I don't want to just go crazy. I need at least something to kind of base my prediction / speculation on. So until I see the movie, I can't really speculate on a sequel. Now, as far as Godzilla vs. Ghidorah 2, I did hear that Yoshimitsu Banno wanted to do one, and more or less that kind of turned into what we're getting now. I'm not saying this is the sequel, but he wanted to do a movie, I guess some sort of short 3D movie of Godzilla and either a new monster. I think some people kind of either confuse it for versus the Smog Monster 2, but then eventually it turned into a project that he worked on with Legendary. He's actually a producer in the movie now, although I don't know how involved he is with the production of the movie and its development. But yeah, I did hear about that, but I haven't heard much else about Godzilla vs. Ghidorah Part 2, so that's that. Okay, so the next question comes from Scrapzilla54. Rob, how do you think Godzilla's origin will start off if it is based on the 1954 or present times, or what is he before he is Godzilla? I don't know. I know they're going to have a scene in 1954. I just don't know what it's going to be about. What I do know is it's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be related to the 1954 movie. I think he's using that time period to pay homage to the movie, and maybe we'll see some elements that might be familiar to us, but they won't necessarily be directed towards the 54 movie. In terms of what the scene involves, don't know. Could be the early creation of the Muto organization, or it could be show you a look as to how they started these experiments with certain creatures or insects or reptiles, whatever you want to call it. In terms of what Godzilla was before, well, I definitely think they're going to stick with the radiation being his mutation, but in terms of his origin, I don't know. We do know that there have been many different origin stories with Godzilla, Godzillasaurus being an ancient dinosaur, things of that nature. Whether or not they stick to that is unsure, but I'm sure we'll get that answer when the movie comes out. So this next one is from Stone Cold Fan 1000, and he wants to know whether or not Godzilla will have the same origin as the original 1954, or will they come up with something new? Yeah, I think his origin will be in 54. I just don't think it's going to mirror exactly what we saw in the original Gojira movie. So I think time setting will be the same year. I think the actual origin and the telling of where it came from will be different. So, Benjamin Breer, after the new movie, what do you expect as for non-G fans? You know, I think Godzilla will gain some new fans. I think that's safe to say. Obviously, it all depends on how good the movie is. The movie will determine how many new G fans hit the scene. With that said, there will be a lot of fans who jump on the bandwagon for the time being, and then once the heat cools off of Godzilla, if it even starts, because again, it's all dependent on the movie, I think that you, just like everything else these days, it'll be hot one week, it'll be not the next week. You'll have some fans that will continue to linger and cling on to Godzilla going forward, but unfortunately, a great majority will probably drop off and not really care too much after 12 weeks. But you know what? Even if he gains a couple of million more fans, that's a great thing for the community. And those fans who might jump off the bandwagon later will jump back on the bandwagon if a sequel ever comes out. So, but yeah, I think they'll gain more heartfelt fans that will want to look into Godzilla's history and all his movies. And you'll get some Johnny-come-latelys who will hop on the bandwagon, talk like they know about Godzilla for weeks, and then you'll never hear from them again. Yep. All right. So, Brandon 1143, what do you think Godzilla's atomic breath will be like in the movie? It is an interesting topic, especially what it will look like. I think they might keep the same color. I just think they'll give it more like something a little bit more than just a blue beam. I think the sound might even be different. I just think they're going to give it more life. When you consider the size of the creature and how he blew his beam, like in the early days, it was kind of like underwhelming. Later on, Toho with the newer movies made it look much more impactful. I think they're going to take it to another level. Don't expect to see his atomic breath too much. I have a feeling we might only see it 3 or 4 times in the movie, and it'll only be in situations where he's going to need it. But I think you'll get a bluish color, if not maybe a brand new color like a green or a reddish. Something that's going to fit, though. I heard rumors that his dorsal fins will not light up, but I'm thinking it'll look, maybe in terms of its shape and how it's formed, I think it's going to be a massive beam that's going to have actually ridges, and it kind of looks like almost like a fire, but in a different color, like a blue fire just bursting out of his mouth. And I think it's going to have a wide range, but that's just my opinion. All right, so next question. This one comes from Kasaibu F29. Is product placement in entertainment a bad thing? Well, this is not necessarily Godzilla related, but just to give you a short answer, no, it's not a bad thing if the people who want the product, if the product that's placed in the entertainment is relevant to somebody who's watching it. It's like advertising. One person might see a car commercial and say, hey, I want to get that car, or that's interesting, I'm going to research that. And another person might just run up to the bathroom while the commercial's playing, not giving two craps about it. So, all right. Andrew Southworth. TriStar original version of Godzilla, which was written by the same guys who wrote the Pirates of the Caribbean films, was going to direct John DeBont with a summer '96 release date. Give your overall thoughts on the script, please. Anyway, keep up the great work. I haven't read that script. Somebody did give me the link. I just have not gotten around to reading it. I know it has to do with him fighting, what is it, some sort of griffin, or I think it was called the Griffin or something like that. I haven't read the script. I haven't heard too much about it. But when I do read the script, I promise to get back to you on that one, okay? Awesome. Moving right along. We are at 9 minutes. So this will be my last question for this first part of the Q&A. So this one comes from Shockwave Kamina. Hey, Rob, I'm a fan, blah, 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 blah. How do you think Godzilla and the Mutos will fight? That's a good question. I'm hoping it's not just some slow punch here, kick there. I don't want it to be too methodical. I want it to be not too fast where you can't see what the hell's going on, but I don't want it to look like it's in slow motion. I think you're going to see something a little bit more violent than what we're used to seeing. I think you're going to see a lot of clawing and biting. Remember like the recent King Kong movie when he fought the T-Rex? He was breaking their jaws. One T-Rex, he ripped the mouth open and bit its tongue out. The other one, he broke its jaw open and then crushed it. I think you're going to see a lot of that. It also depends what kind of monsters the Mutos are. Will they have claws? Will they have, whatever it is they have at their disposal? Excuse me, I'm almost certain they're going to have some sort of projectile, whether it shoots out of their mouth or their eyes. They're going to have some kind of weapon to pretty much counter Godzilla's atomic breath, although I only see Godzilla using his atomic breath in a dire situation. But I don't think you're going to get the traditional kick and punches we used to see back in the day. I think you're going to get two very large animals fighting like animals, bite, claw, slash, stab with their claws. I think that's what you're going to see, and I don't think you're going to see something. I don't think you're going to see him being very methodical. In fact, we've only seen Godzilla move at a very, very mellow pace. But I think in a situation where he's going to fight, I think you might see something a little bit surprising from the G. I think you're going to see him burst out with a little bit of speed that he's never had before. But all right, guys. So anyway, that's it. This is going to be the first part of the Q&A. There are a lot more questions left to go. Just want to give a quick shout out to Bandana Milkshake. All right, just had to throw that out there. He knows who he is. All right. So anyway, guys, that's it for this video. Stay tuned. A couple of days, I'll throw up part 2 to this Q&A, and I'll see you next video. Take it easy. Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. I'm your host Rob. This video, we're going to do a Godzilla 2014 Q&A. Okay guys, welcome back. So this video, I decided to do a Q&A because I got a lot of video requests. Some of the requests are on topics that I've actually already covered, and some of them are requests that really can kind of be answered. The questions can be answered in a short answer. Really wouldn't require a video so much. So what I did was I took all those, put them together, and I made a Q&A list. So some of the videos you guys requested will be covered here. There are some other requests that I do feel garner a full video, but for this I'm just gonna kind of answer some of these questions that I don't really think necessarily need a video to be answered. So here we go. And just so you know, there might be more than one part to this because there are quite a bit of questions and I don't want to do like a 30-minute video, so it might be 2 parts, 3 parts. It all depends how it plays out. So here we go. So Madara Uchiha asked if do I think Godzilla movie will have some type of United States versus Japan since it's a reboot, or would it be an obvious no? Yeah, I think that's an obvious no. I think in this case, since it's going to be modern times, there's really no conflict with Japan and the United States. So I see them more